to start here this weekend. Obviously, you're back here at Daytona, so it's your second time. So what are your thoughts right now?
I'm really happy to be back. Last year everything was new for me. It was first time on a super speedway. So being here for the second time, you know what's coming up, and I've worked with the team for several races now. So I'm really happy to be here. I'm really looking forward to the race, and we tried to do better than last year. Last year, during practice, the only thing we could do was work on my driving, and now we can work on the setup of the car, and so it will be an exciting event.
Yeah, so obviously it's been a while since you've been in one of these cars. You did a few races last year, so when it comes to figuring out how to drive these things, plate racing, I bet that's so much different than anything else you've done before.
Yeah, exactly. My background is from road course racing, and then back in Europe in the NASCAR Real Euro Series, we do like half of the races on road courses, the other half we do on ovals, but fastest ovals we have are half-mile ovals. So coming here to a super speedway and with the drafting and then going at those speeds is something completely different. But it's exciting, and last year I learned a lot, and I hope to take that experience here now this year and try to make a good result.
Were you more nervous last year because you didn't know what you were getting into, and now this year you know what you're in for on Saturday? So are you more nervous this time or less nervous?
No, I'm a bit less nervous. Okay. Last year was really tough. It's so many new things coming up. It's already really impressive when you just come here as a driver. I didn't know the track, I didn't know the car, so and now that's more easy because I know how the car handles. I know how to talk to the team and then talk to the crew chief, and then we are better prepared. And for sure, it's obviously when you come here, it's a big event, and you're always a bit nervous. But last year was really tough, and I hope this year it goes better.
Yeah. So what is it about the Xfinity Series? Why are you here? Why does this series really interest you?
Yeah. Well, when I started off in NASCAR in Europe was in 2014, and the series was there for 2 years. Then I got in touch with them, and I started off racing in Europe, and 10 years ago it was not possible for a European driver to become a NASCAR driver in Europe. And then when you step into NASCAR in Europe, you want to grow and you want to go at a higher level. And then the Xfinity Series is perfect. And when I won the championship in 2014, we made a program next year Road to Daytona, and we did all the steps so I got my approval to come here. And I did some K&N races, then I did some Xfinity races. Up until we got to a level where I was allowed to take part of the Xfinity race here at Daytona, and now we want to step up the level and try to become better as a driver in the Xfinity Series. And it's I'm sure on the road courses we are really strong, because last year Alan Day was also in our championship, who finished third in the championship, and he's also in the next program. He did really well at Mid-Ohio. At a certain point he was running top 5. So I will be doing Mid-Ohio. I'm really excited also to do a road course in these Xfinity cars. So it's going to be an exciting year for me.
Yeah, maybe not ready now, but do you think within the next year or two you'll be ready for a full-time Xfinity season? It's a long year of racing, about 33 races. Would you be interested in that? Would you be up for it?
Yeah, that will be the goal. This year I'm gonna definitely combine the NASCAR Real Euro Series with some Xfinity races. I'll try to do some more in August. We have a summer break in Europe, so I'll try to we try to work on the program to make some more races in August, and then our season ends beginning of October, so we could do some more races at the end of the Xfinity season. And the goal is to work hard and try to get a full seat for the Fulls Championship next year in Xfinity.
Right. So, talk about the Euro Series. You've been in there for a few years. You've won championships. You're one of the best drivers that series has seen in a while. So, just talk about that series, how you've been gelling with the tracks, the cars, the people. It just seems like a completely different world, but it is still NASCAR.
Yeah. But the series has been growing very fast. When I stepped into 14, and if you compare it to where we are now, it's a different world. There's a lot of interest from the fans. For example, our event in Great Britain in Brands Hatch was sold out 3 months ahead of the event. So that's something that rarely happens for racing in Europe. Even Formula One cannot sell out their event. So that's fantastic. The series is growing. There's a lot of good experienced drivers coming in, and also young drivers who are really talented. So the mix is getting there. So that's really good. We have now Alex Caffi, who's an ex-Formula One driver, he will be there next year, full season for the first time. We have Mark Goosens, who finished third in the 24 hours of Daytona with Visit Florida Racing. We have Renger van Zande, who was also in the Visit Florida car at Daytona. So we have a good mix of experienced, good drivers and young drivers. And it's the fastest growing series in Europe. We get a lot of fans on the racetrack, and the only thing which is a lot different is that we don't have so many oval tracks in Europe. So they're building more. There's a new one coming up in Germany, a new oval track. Lausitzring, which is a really big oval track, but the safety level is not good enough. They need the safety barriers and the safety walls and everything. But they're thinking about hosting NASCAR, so we're going next year to Hockenheim. Germany is like in Europe the #1 country in racing. We're going to Hockenheim, and they don't have Formula One, so the big tracks are getting interested in NASCAR, and that's really good. And we work very hard with the drivers, with the championship. I'm very close with the organizer, and NASCAR is helping us out a lot. So we're working hard, and we try to grow the championship, and I think there's a bright future ahead.
Yeah. So talk about bringing together the Euro Series and connecting it with NASCAR here in the States. Now, how important is that to get people from Europe, drivers, fans from Europe, and get them interested in NASCAR? You, Alan Day, you're coming over, you're racing here. How important is that for you in this diversity?
Yeah, I think it's really important as well for us. For a driver who comes into the NASCAR World Euro Series, wants to step up and come to do NASCAR here. And a perfect example is Daniel Suarez. He came from the Mexico Series, and he's now driving Cup 3 years later. So it's also very good for NASCAR because they go global. They gain interest from fans in Mexico. Now they gain interest from fans in Europe, and that's what we want. We want to help to globalize the sport, and I think NASCAR in Europe can be very helpful. And then for the drivers, the program that he created next year, Road to Daytona, and having drivers coming over here and supported by NASCAR and supported by the sponsors of the Euro Series. I get budget from the Euro Series to come and race here. That's something really important, and that will get young drivers interested in NASCAR in Europe, and not only focusing on Formula One.
Right. Yeah. So in that series, what do you call your best win, your favorite win?
My favorite win was last year at Italy. It was the semi-finals. It was a very tight battle between Alan Day and Fred Gabillon, French driver. And the semi-finals, double points. First race was really important, and we all knew that. We were all saying, because even though we are competitors, we talk a lot, and we were all saying the one who wins the first semi-final. First race of the semi-finals will be a big step into the championship, and there was a lot of pressure, and in the end I won the race. But obviously, which was also very special, was the finals at Zolder. It's my home track. I live like 10 miles from the track, and 2 or 3 weeks ahead of the event, Jeff Gordon dropped me a mail. I will be coming to visit you at the finals, and that's having one of the biggest legends in NASCAR handing me over the championship trophy is something I will never forget.
Yeah, that's your Facebook page, the cover photo on that. So I saw that. So that was a big deal, I bet, huh?
It was amazing. Jeff's wife, she's from my town.
Yeah.
So I met him a few times here, and also back in Europe. And when he said I come over for the finals, it was the pressure went only up. So I was even more stressed out. But it was great having him there because it gave us good international coverage. he spent a long time on our final race, and that was amazing. So he helps to grow our series back in Europe, and that's fantastic.
Like that. So, yeah, obviously you have a tight connection with Formula One. You're racing on Hockenheim Ring next year. How many other, what does that mean to you, and what other F1 tracks have you raced on, in the Euro Series? Do they go on some of those?
Formula One used to be at Brands Hatch, but not anymore. It used to be at Zolder, but in the 80s, so not anymore. We try to go on smaller tracks, and Formula One wants to have big tracks. Yeah. For us, the series, the races are more exciting when the tracks are smaller. So that's why we don't go on all the Formula One tracks. I know NASCAR in 2013, before I raced, was also at Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. But the racing is more interesting on the smaller tracks, and that's why we don't visit so many Formula One tracks. But I'm sure in the future we will have to go to the bigger tracks as well, because they are the tracks that attract a lot of people, and they are the tracks that have a lot of sponsorships, and that can help grow the series. So for sure we will be in more Formula One tracks in the future.
Yeah, obviously you're the nephew of Max Verstappen. I had an absolutely tremendous season last year, if I can say so myself. So what has that been like for you? Being kind of separated, but you know him so well. So what was last year especially like for you?
It was really special because his first win was in Barcelona, and when he had that race, it was his first race for Red Bull when he stepped up from Toro Rosso to Red Bull. And actually, we had a race in Holland, so we were racing with the NASCAR Wheel and Euro Series in Holland, and they had this big place where there were so many Dutch fans coming to watch our race. But all together with the drivers and everybody, we watched the finish of Formula One, which was a bit later than our finish. And to see him win there with the Dutch crowd, was amazing. And I know him since he was a baby, and what he did is incredible. He stepped into Formula One at 17 years old. But he's really talented. His dad used to be in Formula One. His dad helped him out a lot. Actually, me and his dad we raced together in go-karts when we were teenagers. So I know him for a very long time. Obviously, his mother I know very well because she's my family. But it's amazing, having a kid you saw grow up, and then I saw all the steps in go-kart and everything he did. And see him race in Formula One, see him win there, and doing all the things what he's doing. Actually, what he did for Formula One really brought another dimension to Formula One, because his racing, his way of racing, pretty aggressive, is something that Formula One needed. And everybody was saying this 17-year-old kid doesn't belong in Formula One, and he showed he does. And it's a very difficult sport because there are only 22 places for people all over the world. And he stepped in there, and he showed he's mature to do it, and he's putting great results. So as being family, it's really special. It's sometimes even emotional when you watch it.
Yeah. So when he did start, he was so young, and there was a lot of people saying, "Oh, he's definitely not ready for this. He's gonna be crashing. He's gonna be doing pretty rough." But he proved them wrong pretty quick. So. Yeah. What were your feelings? Did you feel like he was ready for it at that time?
Yeah, I thought he was ready because he started racing so early. He started like at 4 years old. He was driving go-karts, and he raced a lot. And the thing which helped him a lot is that his father was in Formula One, so his father could tell him all the things that he did wrong. So even though he was only 17, he had way more experience than some of the drivers who are 25. So I thought he was ready, but still, if everybody starts telling I was 17 is too young to be in Formula One, and there's so many things, it's very high tech, the sport, and you have to study a lot and work a lot with the engineers, and the pressure from the media and everything. So, but he handled really well, and when he stepped in, I thought he will be ready and he will be good. But then, when everybody starts telling, he's way too young, you start doubting a bit, and that's where I think he did really well. He never doubted himself, and he really stepped up his game, and he really pushed, and he really made good results. And it's amazing what a young kid like that can do. I wouldn't be able to do that at 17.
Yeah, so he got that opportunity with Red Bull, almost came out of nowhere, at least from the outside. So with you, when that was announced, it really shocked a lot of people. So were you shocked? Did you know about it? What was it like for you?
I had some more inside information, and there was a lot of interest from other teams, from other top teams. They were really trying to get Max. Because he was so young, and he proved already that he was so fast and so mature. So the top teams were really trying to get Max in, and the only thing Red Bull could do is they had to give him another opportunity. He wouldn't stay 2 years with Toro Rosso that they knew, so they had to give him another opportunity, and it didn't really came as a surprise to me that he went to Red Bull, but everybody was thinking he's going to Red Bull next season, and that's also what he thought himself at that moment. And then, but because the interest was so high, and then they were really trying to get Max in from the other top teams, Red Bull had to do something, and they changed his position in the middle of the season, and in the end it worked out really well for them, and I think now they have a good working relationship for many years.
How often do you see Max? Do you see him? I don't know how often you see him. So
last year I saw him only once, and that was at Spa, the Formula One race. So normally the years before I saw him like every month, but because we don't live actually very far from each other, but now he's living in Monaco. He's racing all the time. I'm traveling a lot for my racing, so we didn't have time to see each other anymore. But it's he cannot make extra time, and I cannot make extra time. But I follow everything he's doing, and sometimes we send text and on Twitter, and so I'm really happy for him. He's making a really good job.
Yeah, I mean, they're describing him with Michael Schumacher and Juan Montoya. He must be so proud.
I think he definitely has a talent like Schumacher or Montoya or an Alonso. He's really strong, and you could see it already in go-karting. I was driving go-karts when Schumacher was still driving it, and you see it when somebody has a special talent. You see it immediately, and Max was the same, and okay, even if you have the talent, you have to gain the maturity, and you still have to perform without crashing. And that's what he's doing. So it's fantastic. Definitely at that age.
Yeah. How many F1 races do you go to? Do you go to a few every year? Do you try to catch his next win?
Yeah, I tried to go to more next year, but last year I had such a busy season, so I only did one. The year before I did 3 races, but it's already I'm traveling a lot, and I still have my family back at home, so we'll see, but for sure I will catch 1 or 2 races this year at least.
Did you ever want to race F1 yourself? Did you go towards the stock car side, or were you ever eyeing F1?
When you start as a young driver in Europe, everybody eyes Formula 1, and I started Formula racing at 16 years old, and but it's really difficult, for sure. Being a Belgian driver, there's not much racing heritage in Belgium. If you are from UK or Germany, there's a lot of racing heritage. So even when I was 16 years old, was not allowed to race in Belgium. So I went to Germany to go racing there. But even though in my first season I won many races, I finished 3rd in the championship in Formula Renault, and I won the World Finals. There were not so many opportunities to go into a good team for Formula 3, which was the next step. So, and then I decided, I got an opportunity to drive for Porsche Belgium, and then I decided, okay, let's make that direction, and let's go in GTs, because GTs was climbing up, and Formula 1 is really difficult to get in. Like this year it's only 20 places for all the drivers in the world who want to get there. So it's not the most easy sport to get in.
Yeah, that's for sure. And final question, who are your racing idols growing up? Everyone always has their idols. Who are yours?
I had Senna as my big idol. It's the battle between Senna and Prost was an amazing battle in those years. And then obviously I was also a big fan of Jos Verstappen, who's the father of Max, and who was a good friend, or still is a good friend of mine, and who I race with a lot. And then in NASCAR, Jeff Gordon. I knew him from before, and then when Jeff he changed a bit NASCAR, and all the things that he did was so fantastic. So and then when I started doing NASCAR, I met with him regularly, and he's a fantastic guy. So I'm really happy I know those people.
Yeah. Fantastic conversation. I definitely appreciate your time. Best of luck Saturday. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.